and it is telling me, and I quote, "Your stream quality is good. If you don't believe me, take a look." Alright, you see, it says stream quality is good. That's how I can tell if things are functioning. So it says that it's functioning. So I think I'm clear to continue the stream. And hopefully everything is actually functioning and my notification bar alert thingy is accurate. Because it wouldn't be so fun if it was lying to me. That I know for sure. Let me get that off there. Oh, I just clicked 4 buttons. Did not mean to be that. Welcome back, Dorito. Thank you for hanging out and for your patience, as always. You know, if I could only hit the right button, that would be even better. Alright, we got that. There we go. There we go. Welcome, Vral. Thank you for coming on by. Thank you. I definitely believe I was having crashes. I don't really know what was going on because it wasn't giving me any feedback, like the tech feedback that it's supposed to. So I just kind of realized when the game wasn't working that there was probably deeper issues. So I just reset everything. And unfortunately it took a while to get going. And now we go forward. And hopefully we don't have any more effing chat moments. And everything functions fine. That is the game plan. So let's give this another shot right here. Oh, awesome. We got a few people hanging out today. Thank you all for coming on by. Hope you're having a great weekend. I'm having a pretty good weekend. A bit busy. A lot to do. And a lot that I should do that I'm putting off, admittedly. Yeah. But for now, I guess I'll be streaming another... Well, I know I have a bit I have to do tonight. So probably another 30, 45 minutes most. But again, I'm not going to finish the stream if we don't get anything done. Unless the stream is just going so horrendously tech issue-y that I have to. So hopefully we're going to have some fun together. I've got story time prepared for us at the end of the day. It's the one that was the runner-up in votes for yesterday's story, so should be a fun one. Alright. Now we just want the game to cooperate. The stream quality is cooperating, but now can we get the game to stop lagging like this? That is the new and improved question. Is there anyone on this team that is a healer? No, there is not. That is great news. Except Killmonger, who's going to heal himself up. So my game plan here. Get rid of security. Get rid of pyro. Just get rid of the enemies. That's my game plan. Which would be so much nicer if it wasn't chopping like crazy. Yes, woo story time is right. Let me just pop that right there. Never mind. Oh my gosh, this is... If every node is going like this could be a long attempt. Come on. I mean, if it's going like this, I might stick with just roster questions. But I'm gonna finish my DD3 no matter what. Someone died. Probably Proxima. I really don't know at this point. Sure, let's do this special. It doesn't miss when he's blind. It's not supposed to. Did it? I don't even know. Can't tell. Alright, good job, Mr. Sinister. You did something, maybe. I don't know. Alright, Phoenix died. Yes, Dark Phoenix special. Wonderful, because I really wasn't wanting to have to restart this horrendous lag. Alright, there we go. That was a good run. I think I did about as good as you could possibly do in some Dark Dimension. It was clear to me what was happening. I don't know if it was clear to you guys. But, you know, I killed like 30 of them, I think. Give or take 50. I think it's about right in that range. So clearly a very successful attempt. And Yeah, it's still saying that I'm having no issues on the stream. So it's just the app being unique. Let's go with unique. And we've got 4.32 million damage dealt. Best ever attack. Let's get Ultron up in here, hit this heal button. Yeah, the stream seems fine. To me, the only issue is literally the game is just chopping like crazy. Is the game chopping when you get for like you guys to watch, or is it just me? Like, because I'm pressing the buttons and they're like, I don't know, it's like stop motion claymation where they forget 5 pictures in between. At least that's what it's looking like to me. Sharing screen? Yeah, it should be. I couldn't do anything that stupid. But I did forget to put that on. Alright. Hey Strider, you got a raid coming in to say hi. Well, awesome. Thank you very much for that. Hopefully it's all, you know, coming through. That'd be pretty good. How you doing today, Strider, by the way? I know I said hi, I didn't finish that. You're coming in with... Mixie is raiding with 10 raiders. Woo, awesome. Thank you very much for that. So that notification showed up on Twitch. Is it going to show up on Streamlabs so I can get the shiny notification-y button? Possibly. You had an active morning there, Strider? Okay, so that's not too bad on the leg end, but there we go, I have died. Was it a good active morning, like a productive one, or one where you're kind of doing a bunch of stuff just to avoid what you actually have to do? Because I know the feeling of that one. Did not pop up there, oh well. What's that? That's a new shiny button. Well, the notification didn't come up, so I can't do anything with that. But again, thank you very much for the raid. Normally, a notification shows up, but it did not feel like doing this today. Don't know why. Streamlabs is being interesting right now. Spent most of the day with MXE watching him blitz. Very nice. You had to leave at home, run errands, and visit Mommy Strider. How is Mommy Strider doing? Yeah, watching him blitz. I probably should be getting into some blitz now, assuming that blitz is going to be functioning. It looks like the game is starting to get back in order. Doesn't matter, just glad to spread the MSF love. Well, thank you again, honestly. Where are we at in the rotation? Apparently I finished halfway through, as per usual. For people that watch me blitz, they normally realize I kind of forget to finish my rotations. I get sidetracked when people ask me to do things. And I finish almost everything halfway through. Not the best, but still striding. I'm really respecting your pun game today, Strider, but I'm sorry to hear that it's not the best yet. That's not going to work. Defenders. The defenders are boring. I just don't feel like playing with the defenders. Yeah, I just skipped 2 teams out of boringness. You recorded the whole thing and ended at 34.5 gigabytes? Are you meaning your whole time streaming? Like your whole blitz rotation while streaming? Or... because that's crazy. Today's stream at 34.5 gigs. Yikes. Over 12 hours. Well, respect to that. I would lose my mind. Admittedly, I've considered doing something like that before, but I would lose my mind. I'd be making way too many bad jokes. Well, again, huge respect for that. What are we doing? Do I have a plan for this? No. If I don't have a plan, just let it go on. Oh, I'm getting people asking me if my stream ended. No? Alright, well, if it wasn't so hot, I could probably do more, but I was enjoying with people in chat, so it was entertaining. Yeah, that's fair. There have been days where I've had, like, where the chat was just really good, and it was really fun, and, you know, I felt like I could do a lot extra, but usually those are the days where I have something scheduled where I just can't stay no matter what, and it ends up me going until, like, 12:30 in the morning my time, and I'm like, yeah, I really gotta go now, because I have to be up in, like, 6 hours. Strider, you missed the 5 I gave yesterday? You asked me that question. I was in deep thought and kept getting distracted. No matter what I was talking about, I was just listing other characters I would love to see in the game. And then I was like, yeah, the 5 MSF characters that I want in the game. I'm going to give you 5 new characters, whatever pops into my head, because I cannot go back into what I did yesterday. But let's go with Peggy Carter, Dum Dum Dugan, Monster Octopus, who is literally only from a video game that some people may remember. Oh goodness gracious! I can't collapse into this again. Yellow Jacket. Let's go with Yellow Jacket and there's Professor X and Quicksilver. That's 6. I named about 30 yesterday, Strider, because I was like, "Ooh, I want that character. That character would be great in the game. That would be pretty awesome." Oh, thank you, MXZ, for the follow. I really hope I'm saying your name right. And, if I'm not, I'm terribly sorry. Let's get this through, because the alert takes 7 minutes to come through, so I'm just forcing it through now. But thank you for the follow on Twitch. It is awesome. You can't remember the other one. Good Golf. Crazy Lady on Phone. Yeah, you got the names of this. You say it perfectly? Awesome. You got the names of the stories down there. Brawl, I know that you love story times. And hey there, guy. Thank you for coming on by. Eventually I should actually refer to you by the name of the account that you're on instead of just your alliance name, so that I don't confuse everyone that's just reading your messages in chat, but oh well. So you don't want me to say Emily? I will do my best to not say Emily, but depending on where I'm reading it and the colors that are behind it, it could be an issue. Oh, and thank you. Let me get this on there so I can actually read it. All right. Thank you, the kid 710 for the follow. Thank you very much. Again, both of your notifications are going to pop up again in exactly 7 minutes, because Streamlabs be weird sometimes. That's about the amount of information I have on that. But again, thank you both for the follows. Who's Emily? Emily is the name of the actor that plays Sharon Carter. No one as far as you know, but some people do call you Emily. Well, let me think. Yeah, I'm about 80% sure about the fact that the person that plays Sharon Carter is named Emily. I really don't know for sure. It just kind of sounded right in my head. You don't think so? What is her name then? Now I'm going to be Googling this. Oh, Sharon Carter actress. Name. What is it? Emily Van Camp. It is Emily. I thought it was Emily Van Camp, but I have no idea where I knew that from. It is Emily Van Camp. It was one of those things that you just kind of feel is the right answer, but then you don't instinctively have an idea where it comes from. Yeah, Sharon Carter, the actress that plays Sharon Carter, is Emily Van Camp, who I believe is... I'm going to stop saying this before I make... I am right. She is Canadian. I was going to say she's Canadian, as am I, but, you know, I get myself in trouble when I say things, because in my memory, 95% of the world population is Canadian, and that can't possibly be right, because there's no other Canadians. Wait, are you thinking I'm meaning Peggy Carter? Because that would be Haley Atwell. No, Haley Atwell, the person that plays Peggy Carter, is British. Now, I'm okay with blaming Canada. It's my home country, but I don't live there, so blame them. It's their fault. I left because I knew that they did a bad and caused the issue. Yeah, you're thinking that you're thinking about the girl that Captain America, really liked at first, and not the one that he, kissed right after the first one. The niece that kissed right after the funeral. It's niece in the MCU, I think. Either way, it was kind of weird. It happens. Captain America does have a thing for Carters. Well, I guess he's not going to get a next Carter. She was the neighbor as well. That was when she was undercover protecting him in Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier. One of the best MCU movies. I loved The Winter Soldier. Great movie. That is also because my favorite characters are like Captain America and, Peggy Carter and Winter Soldier, so it's a good movie for me. Yeah, then Steve Rogers does get back together with Peggy, He falls in love with Peggy, goes in the ice, doesn't manage to make it on the date, then, she dies, and then he gets into a relationship with her niece, and, now that's not good enough. I'm going to go back in time so that, I can be in a relationship with your aunt, because your aunt is so much better than you are. So I'm going to go back in time to be back in a relationship with your aunt. Then you get back there and it's like, hey, going to be honest with you, I have a relationship with your niece in like 50 years when you're dying. I kiss her after your funeral, actually, but don't worry about it. It's okay. You don't like Captain America. That's fine. You don't have to like the character. I do like the character. A lot of people don't like Superman. Actually, to be fair, Superman movies right nowadays are pretty bad, but I don't blame it on Superman. But Captain America movies are great, whether you like the character or not. Winter Soldier was just an amazing movie. So Superman is too OP. Yeah, and they don't really know what they're doing with him anymore, which makes the movies pretty bad. And they can introduce a character, be like, this is basically as good as Superman, and then 2 seconds later they're incompetent until Superman shows up. It's still death does do us part, and you were dead already. That is pretty respectful. The old guy at Peggy's funeral nudging people and saying, I had to... Oh my gosh. They fight a guy for 10 minutes and he comes and shoots them down in 30 seconds. Yeah. To be fair, that was literally Justice League. They build up Wonder Woman to be like, alright, Wonder Woman is literally a god. She literally killed the god of war. And now, she's completely useless. She can't do anything until Superman shows up, and now she's fine again. But you need Superman there or not. Alright, there's the first notification back again. Thank you for the follow once again. Strider, what do you disagree on? There's been a lot of things said here. They're only you're saying that DC's only good in the animation department? Okay. I will say this. I have seen every episode of Arrow. I have seen every episode except 2 of The Flash, and I've seen every episode of Supergirl. I watched 6 episodes of Legends of Tomorrow and said, this is absolute trash, I can't watch this. And I can't get myself to do Batwoman because that was pretty garbage too, if you ask me. I do not think Supergirl is a good show. Actually, I actively think it's a pretty bad show. And thank you again, the kid for 710 for the follow. Because I don't think Supergirl is a good show. And I actively get frustrated watching this, like, why would they make this episode so bad? And then I immediately go, so when's the next episode? And then rewatch it, and then watch the next episode. So, I don't know what it is, but Supergirl at least keeps me watching, even if I don't particularly think it's a good show. So there's quality. There has to be. It's not too bad if it makes me want, if I'm still wanting to watch more. But I think if I hear one more of their, like, explaining the entire message of the episode's speeches, it might make me cry, because those speeches are horrible. Yes, Batwoman is changing lead actresses, which is just bad. DC's corporate people don't have confidence in their product. They always run behind their fan base. DC doesn't know what they're doing. I'm going to be 100% honest. Even when they make successful things, they don't know what they're doing. Haven't seen Legends of Tomorrow or All the Flash yet. Legends of Tomorrow is pretty bad. They literally just ignore plot points from the other shows in order to add extra drama to those shows. So the characterization of them, any of the characters just doesn't make sense, which is not great. But, yeah, no, DC, it's a nightmare. Their animations, most of their animation is pretty good. Some of their new animation is pretty bad. I don't know, especially all the ones that they're doing for streaming services. Those are usually not pretty good. But yeah, like, the thing is, you can tell a show is good if they give you a speech or they try and tell you a message that you don't agree with, but you then empathize with it. Supergirl is the type of show, the type of show where they can tell you something that you 100% agree with, and then you're like, yeah, no, this is garbage. Like, it ticks you off, because even if they're trying to say something you agree with, they say it so badly and over the top, and it's like, yeah, nope, I no longer agree. That's the type of show it is. The most successful recent thing, okay, here's what we got. Wonder Woman, Shazam, Aquaman. Right, so Wonder Woman I like Wonder Woman a lot. The movie, not what she did on the other movies, because those are pretty bad. But Wonder Woman, the movie, was pretty great. Admittedly, the last 10 minutes feels like a bit of a cop-out, but I don't mind it, and I like the movie. It does not continue with the rest of the universe at all, which really goes to show they don't know what they're doing, but I liked it. Aquaman was a bad movie that was fun and enjoyable, and I will take a bad movie that is fun and enjoyable over an okay movie that is boring any day. Shazam did not know what it was, but there were moments that were it was entertaining, but again, it wasn't an amazing movie. Like, there was a lot of stuff that just wasn't consistent and didn't really know what was going on, that wasn't made well, but it was entertaining, which is, you know, pretty it's important. If you make an entertaining movie, sometimes that's better than making a good movie. So, yeah. Those Batman Arkham games are amazing, Strider, by the way. Fully agree with that. Yeah, I mean, they were starting to get it together. They didn't really know what they were doing. There was no cohesion with it, no consistency. Like, they didn't have... Even if you watch Shazam, you're watching, like, 3 different movies, and that movie overall is made for no one, but there's enough in it that a lot of people like it, but no one's going to watch it. Aquaman is actually... Yeah, Aquaman is only good because Jason Momoa was in it. Aquaman is crazy. Like, you can watch that. I've seen that movie 4 times. I still couldn't tell you half the stuff that's going on. There's a lot of really dumb moments, but it's entertaining and colorful, and that is a huge part. Aquaman is for the females. Where's that? I'm not sure where that is. I mean, unless you're talking that Aquaman is for the females because Jason Momoa is in there. Admitted that makes a lot of sense. White Scarf watched that movie with me because Jason Momoa was in it mostly, and I told her it would be entertaining, even if not the best. So yeah. Birds of Prey, not so great. Birds of Prey was not really a movie. I'm going to be honest with you. Birds of Prey was one giant action scene. A lot of well-directed action and a bunch of chaos that makes no coherent sense. And some anti-male sexism at the same time. Which is kind of like there's not a single good male character in that entire movie except the one that sells her a sandwich, which is kind of something weird. It was just like a little odd. Birds of Prey was odd. First off, it's not a Birds of Prey movie, but that's a different issue. Birds of Prey was odd. Thor 2 was a disaster, and as bad as it is, and Age of Ultron Avengers movie, they are far better than anything DC would bring out. I will say this. Age of Ultron is disappointing in comparison to the rest of the Avenger movies and a lot of the MCU, but Age of Ultron is a lot better than people give it credit for, and there's a lot of good things in that movie, even if there are some less great moments. Thor 2, again, I've rewatched Thor 2 like 5-6 times. Not as bad as I remember. Admittedly, there's a lot of forgettable parts, but it's neither of those movies are that horrendous. Like, there are DC movies which I will only watch if certain people beg me to watch them. Like, if unless it's like White Scarf begging me to watch Batman vs Superman, there's a gun at my head. Assume there's a gun at my head if you find out I'm watching Batman vs Superman, basically. Horrendous garbage movie. White Scarf did like Aquaman. She didn't really know what was going on the whole time because there's chaos in there, and like, what the heck is this? Why are they ruining an amazing song with Pitbull? Who knows? Thor 2, there's some parts that I really liked of Thor 2. Admittedly, a lot of people absolutely do not like Kat Dennings' character, Darcy, but I find her entertaining in those movies. So yeah. I wouldn't say Thor 2 is the worst in the MCU, though. I wouldn't say either of those movies are the worst of the MCU. I think quite clearly the worst of the MCU is the Hulk movie, The Incredible Hulk, or whatever the one was with Edward Norton. That was pretty bad. Yeah, 100%. Well, Incredible Hulk is definitely the worst MCU movie they've made. There's no question in my mind about that. You're a sucker for anything with Thor in it? Awesome. I'm glad that you like everything that they did with the character that you enjoy. That's great to hear. See, even movies that I don't like, I wish everyone else in the world likes them. I want people to enjoy the stuff with the franchises that they like. I think that's why I'm so upset at DC. Because I like DC. And they make absolute trash. And I'm like, I want to watch this movie, and I want to like this movie. Can you help me a little? You don't have to make a good movie. Just please don't do Batman vs Superman again. Please don't do Suicide Squad again. If you're going to do Suicide Squad again, make it a 10-minute movie and only the introduction part, because that wasn't that bad. It was kind of entertaining. Everything else was horrendous. Justice League was a train wreck. And honestly, they're going to screw themselves over so much with Justice League because they are so trying to cheat the system here with this whole Snyder Cut thing. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to release the Snyder Cut. They're filming an entire other movie and calling it the Snyder Cut. There is no such thing as the Snyder Cut. They're basically remaking Justice League from like 70% from scratch, and they're going to be like, this is the Snyder Cut. This is always how it's been. So what they're doing is they're going to have a complete mulligan, complete do-over with all the fan feedback that they had up until this point. And now they can remake the movie with everything that didn't work. Heck, they're adding characters that weren't even in there. They're changing the entire storyline. So if they can get all of this help on remaking a singular movie that's already out there, they know what works. They know what didn't. And now they're investing millions upon millions of dollars. If they make this movie and it sucks again, they seriously need to just fire everyone and hire someone else. Because this is literally like, could you imagine what Marvel would do if they could remake Age of Ultron a little? Sure, they actually used pretty much everything in Age of Ultron in the future, but they could do so much. Justice League did not suck just because they switched direction and leadership too much. Justice League sucked in general. If you watch that movie, you can tell who made which parts. The only parts of that movie that were remotely entertaining were the parts that had nothing to do with the movie, that were clearly filler parts that were filmed by Joss Whedon because the movie was boring. When you're watching that movie, every time it gets back to the main plot, you feel disappointed. You're like, oh, not this storyline again. And that's the only storyline in there. Like, there's so much wrong with Justice League. The studio stepped in way too much, obviously, trying to force a movie out to meet a deadline instead of actually when the movie was ready. They failed CGI horrendously, so it all looked uncanny with a CGI face on Superman. But these are all things that a lot of studios do, and that movie was just trash anyways. Like, there was so much wrong with it. You cannot just blame it on the change of direction and leadership. I mean, yes, there is literally 2 different movies that are just stapled together randomly without any thought. But when you come up with that as a grand product, there's so much more involved than just, oh, they changed the director. There has to be like 300, 400 people that royally screwed up their job to be able to to make that movie that bad and that incoherent. Yeah, Joss Whedon is good at bringing characters together, and the first Avengers was amazing, and Joss Whedon didn't do a bad job with the second Avengers for that. And honestly, I don't know how well they casted Justice League, because you can tell there's parts that were decently directed, but the humor and the connection didn't always land. Like, there's just a lot of awkward stuff going on with that movie. Like, but again, I would say one scene that I know for a fact was 100% Joss Whedon, and is the only scene I can actively remember with a positive thing in my mind from all of Justice League, was the Aquaman sitting on the lasso scene. I don't know about you guys, but that's the only one I can think of. But I don't know, what's better, what's worse? DC is bad. But what about Fox Marvel with Dark Phoenix and X-Men Apocalypse? They're not bad all the time. The inconsistency of Fox Marvel with all the X-Men movies and Fantastic Four. No, DC doesn't know what they're doing. It's incredibly frustrating. Again, I like DC, so that's why when people say it's like, it gets me upset, because I wish they did better. It's frustrating because then DC makes stuff out like the Joker and the Dark Knight masterpiece, and they make garbage like the Justice League. Honestly, gonna be 100% honest with you, I have not seen the Joker yet. I am actually waiting for that to be distanced from when they make it, so I can actually watch that completely objectively without any input and feedback. So I still need to wait a little bit, because I still have heard too much and it's too fresh in my mind, and I want to see it for what it truly is. Deadpool was awesome, but Deadpool had like 0% to do with Fox Studios. I know Fox funded it, but the only scene that Fox is responsible for with Deadpool was the scene where he showed up without all the guns, because they said that they weren't going to give him the budget to film that final scene, so they added a joke in like that. So, and The Dark Knight was a masterpiece, but you're gonna get a masterpiece if you hire someone like Christopher Nolan. If Christopher Nolan was filming The Dark Knight wasn't a Batman movie. It was like a incredible masterpiece of a movie that just so happened to be centered around Batman, which is, I'm okay with that. But yeah. So much going on, but let's be real here. Dark Phoenix may be worse than anything that... I'm trying to think if this is a true statement. I know it may be worse than anything DC did, but I don't know if it guaranteed is worse. Oh, the game crashed. That's good. Dark Knight Rises was disappointing. Dark Knight Rises was not a bad movie. Like, I liked The Dark Knight Rises. But if you watch that going in expecting Dark Knight again, yeah, that's not going to happen. It was going off way too big of a high, and then it's like, okay, this is not that good. But thank you for coming by, and have a good sleep. So that's my thoughts on The Dark Knight Rises. They want to bring back Ben Affleck Batman and a new Joker. Yeah, do they actually have a plan of what they want to do, or... Because it seems like every day they wake up and they have a new thought for what they're planning on doing. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, that's a bunch of messages, and none of them from the person that I was looking for a message from. You think they need to make darker Marvel films like Logan? The age rating would not have been enough to save Dark Phoenix. Oh, got a contact request here. I will definitely accept that. The issue was the director had no idea what he was doing. He had never directed before, and it was quite obvious. And a lot of the dialogue was just really bad dialogue. Of course, Dark Phoenix always will have potential because, you know, it's a great storyline. Just, they didn't do it well. Did you know that? I think Marvel should make darker movies, but kind of a little separate from the MCU. I know they're making Blade, so I don't know what their plan is for that. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with Batman at this point. I know bringing back the Ben Affleck Batman is just a bad idea, but also Robert Pattinson might not have been whatever his name is, wasn't the best idea they could have done either. Like, you know, I don't know what they're going to do. And Christian Bale won't do it. I know that for a fact because they don't have the budget for Christian Bale. He said that if they want him to do a movie with Robin in it or any other superhero that will draw attention away from him, his value goes up 20 times. And that's why they only can allude to characters. Yeah. Nope to what, Strider? He had enough of that? X-Men... Quicksilver from the X-Men needs a solo film. Well, Bale is a drama queen. Yeah. I can agree with that. Well, what I can tell you is this. There is the fact that the person that played Quicksilver in the X-Men movies, that actor is confirmed to be making an appearance in WandaVision. So, I don't know what's happening, but a lot of people think that his Quicksilver is coming over somehow. Don't know. Don't know. I've got 27 messages on my phone, and none of them, and I'm expecting a message from someone, but none of those 27 messages are from the person I was expecting it from. Isn't that always the case, though? Oh, that's not... Okay, yeah, no. Kill, sure, kill that person. That's fine. Just kill whoever. I don't really care. Is my ghostwriter killing theirs? That's pretty good. Yeah. I don't really know everything that happened in that movie. I know there's a lot of drama in movie making these days. That's for sure. But to be fair, even with the whatever was going on with the Christian Bale Batman voice, he was a much better Batman than anyone that came after him. That cannot be argued. Will I be getting The Last of Us 2? Well, considering I've never got the first one, probably not. Probably not, but there's always a chance. I mean, there's also a chance that one day it comes with something in there. Well, I did say after that, but better than Keaton. Oh gosh, which movie was Keaton in? Which one was he in? Ah, goodness. And honestly, Keaton is an amazing actor, but none of those old Batman movies were nearly as good as the Dark Knight trilogy. That is something I'll hold to. And yeah, I'm down to fight you in PvP. If you want to do a balanced one, we can. If you want to do a matchup test, let me know what you want me to use, and we can do something like that. Or actual straight up battle, or I can go easy on you. It's up to you. I'm down for that. Now, what I am still trying to figure out is that Miles game. Is like, what on earth is going on with that? Because they're being really vague about it, and I want to know more because that thing looks amazing. Straight up battle? Sounds good. Sounds good. What the heck is that? I can only do that. Where'd it go? I thought I clicked that. What is that? What? Okay. Okay. So that challenge vanished into midair. That's new. What on earth happened? Huh. Well. Sir, did they go? Where the heck is... What the... Game, what you doing here? Okay, that's back. Okay. What? What is this? What is this game? It just keeps disappearing. I'm gonna close the app and relaunch. I'm gonna try that because that doesn't make sense. I don't know what that was. The kid wins by default. I mean, to be fair, I'd say I lose at least 30% of battles by default because something goes really weird with the game. This game has some very special features. Sometimes you do an attack and it hits literally no one on the other team because they just attack a little invisible ghost. Sometimes they smudge out the entire battle. Yeah, there's some stuff that happens. Hopefully the game reloads. That would be good. That would be good. Do I think Dormammu will make an appearance again in the new Strange film? No. I don't think so. But to be fair, I could be very, very wrong, especially when it comes to the Doctor Strange movies. I know he's not a part of it anymore, but Scott Derrickson is pretty good at mixing things up and keeping me from guessing too well. Let's see, what is going on with this? So confusing. So very confusing. Do I think Thanos will come back? Yeah, in like 7 years. They're going to do something with Thanos again, but not like the same way. Like, we're not going to be fighting him again to the way we're... Yeah, this is weird. You don't... What? Okay, there's a challenge. Okay. The challenge disappeared? What is happening? What is happening, game? Open chat. The challenge is gone. Is it gone? Click. So, I would absolutely love to accept this challenge. However, I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Game, what are you doing to me? What is going on? Why is this game chaos? I can't. According to this, I can't find him. He doesn't exist on this, does he? Let's wait. Can I? Yes, I can. I only have one active challenge? Sure, let's try that. Let me say, sure, let me try that. Okay. Alright, so yes, we can do it that way. Thank you for the obvious suggestion that I was somehow missing. So thank you for that. That was really weird. So, Manning. It's not a bad roster here. Not a bad roster, but here's the issue. The character that I should ban is a character I want to use. But now telling you that, I kind of have to ban them because then you'll take them. It's that issue. That delicate balance. I'll help you out. I'll ban your Black Bolt, which you know will help you because then you don't have to bother banning mine because mine was going to get banned anyways. What other games am I into? Well, I love sports games, which I know is probably not the most popular game amongst my the people here. I do have a PS4. Right now I'm playing MLB The Show pretty much exclusively for any video game time I do have. Oh, my poor Cindy. I'll get Mr. Sinister. So, that. I like all sports games. I really, really, absolutely love Fallen Order. Fallen Order was an amazing game. The Spider-Man game was an amazing game. I liked Star Wars Battlefront 2. Both the Star Wars Battlefront games I really liked. I like a lot of games. I guess not the overly serious games as much. I'm not particularly great at a lot of games, but I liked the Injustice games. Those were pretty good. I do like RPGs. I like Skyrim a lot. Skyrim's a lot of fun. I liked Oblivion back in the day. Of course. Trying to think. There's a game that I never played that I would very much like to try they're being remastered right now. What the heck was it called? Kingdom of Amalur? Pretty interesting, that. Strider, you to which game? Which game are you ewing? If it is Skyrim, I'd be sad. I like Skyrim. I mean, I don't actually play a lot of Skyrim, to be fair. Like, I've actually never finished an entire playthrough of Skyrim, but I do like it conceptually, and I like the game. Just, I won't spend a very, very long time in the game. Skyrim is ancient. I don't know. I've never finished it. I think the main reason I like Skyrim is I don't know, it just puts me in a nice universe for a bit. When I play it for like 25-30 minutes and I ride around on a horse because horses are fun, and then I do something stupid and everything goes wrong. I'll ban JJ. Let's not ban JJ. Let's ban Thor. But again, I play D&D, so Skyrim really fits that level of nerdiness. I also like Lego games. I've not played Outlast. Would I stream other games on here? I will be... Theoretically, yes, I would. The issue is I'd have to have them on my I'd have to figure out how to stream from my PlayStation. And right now, my PlayStation is at White Scarf's place for this whole shutdown. It gives her something to do if need be. Yeah, that's a lot of heals. I wasn't actually looking at what I was doing. Gonna be completely honest, I was thinking about video games. But I would love to do Spider-Man stream or like a Fallen Order type stream. And when those new games come out, I'd like to do that. I mean, I would do an MLB The Show stream. I would love to do an MLB The Show stream, but it probably wouldn't be very successful amongst the people that watch my stuff. And I know that, so it's unlikely. Okay. Thank you, game, for being so helpful. I need to send a message to White Scarf because I haven't heard from her. And I was probably supposed to go there and do something. Anything? Yeah, it looks like my game crashed again. And it is well past when I was supposed to wrap this up. So with the fact that my game hates me right now, I think I'm probably going to call it a night. But before I do, as per usual, Vral, what time does it always have to be before I completely close down a stream? What always has to happen? Assuming you're still there. I assume you are. Yeah, that's crashed. Game crashed. So yeah, definitely. Story time, that is right. So for today's story time, yesterday, I gave a few options, and the number one choice I told, but I do have the number two choice from yesterday, which was bad golf. Before I get into that, I will say this, guys. If any of you guys need some graphic design work done, make sure you reach out to Strider. He's in chat right now. He's really the best around, and you definitely should reach out to him if you need anything done. He did my logo. He did a few other logos in the community. He does some amazing work. So if you need someone to do anything like that, please reach out to him. He's the best. And, I won? Yay, good job me. I did it. I did great. But yes, the story of today is called Bad Golf. In my life, due to a couple of fundraisers and such, I have actually been in a part of a couple of high-end golf tournaments. I am a horrendous golfer. No, that's not true. I am a highly exciting golfer. That sounds a lot better. I have no consistency whatsoever. Sometimes I'm really good. Sometimes I'm really bad. One of these golf tournaments, it was actually sponsored by my baseball team. And it was an attempt at fundraising. And one of the people that I got to join the tournament actually dropped out. And the other people that were there were friends of mine, so I'm like, you know what, I'm golfing for that spot. I'll be part of the fundraiser. So I took the spot. And everyone was laughing because they weren't really sure what to expect. And yes, I 100% swing a golf club as if it's a baseball bat. 100%. And I am swinging really dang hard. Those balls can go really far and do a lot of damage. And a lot of damage is probably not something you want to be referring to when you're talking about swinging at a golf ball. But it is what it is. So I was like, okay, I do have to get a little practice on. So I was using my driver because I'd actually never used the driver because it was like a really big-headed club, and I don't know how to use those very well. I normally use a smaller one because I can hit it, and I was strong enough that I could hit it pretty far. Like I was a power hitter in baseball. I can hit a golf ball pretty far too. So I was taking swings and people were like laughing because some would go really bad. Then they were like, wow, that was pretty good. And I was starting to get in a groove. And the next thing you know, I took a swing like on this range where everyone's just watching me before the tournament. And the golf club left my hand. It flew about 50 feet in the air and landed like 2 feet in front of me. Bounced up in the air like 10 feet, bounced back, and then just split in half. So before the entire golf tournament, when everyone is watching me warm up, I broke my driver. A little bit further into it, I kind of got stuck by a tree. And I was like, okay, I don't really know what to do with this tree. It's kind of in my way. And the person that was helping me was like, just swing as hard as you can. It'll be fine. They forgot which way I swung. So when I swung, I hit the ball. It went fine. And then I hit the tree, so I broke my pitching wedge. And then the next hole, again, these are only the ones where people are watching. Every time there was no one watching, everything went fine. But the next hole, I was about 50 yards away from a little river. And the hole was just on the other side of the river. So I took a swing and I hit the ball, and honestly, that thing was about 2 feet from the hole. There was only one issue. My golf club also decided to go for a nice little flight and ended up in the river. So in a tournament with a bunch of people watching that was technically a proper high-end tournament, I lost 3 golf clubs in front of everybody, which was, very exciting. But to be honest, I did play pretty well on most of the game. Depends on the shot. I mean, I hit half the shots out of bounds, half the shots great. But yeah, that was my experience with golf. Thank you all for coming out today and chatting and hanging out. It has been a lot of fun. It is 11:30 my time, and the game just keeps crashing, so I think that's a sign I really should be wrapping it up. I would love to see you guys all back here tomorrow, and we can continue talking about video games and movies. But yeah, again, if there is anything you guys want to see me try and stream, like a video game or something, feel free to let me know. If I'm not, come by a stream and let me know. If otherwise, send me a message on Discord and just mention things that you'd like to see. I'll make videos and such for anything people want if I can. And I will stream whatever I can do. So I'd love those suggestions. Thank you guys a lot. I'll be back in 22 and a half hours for another stream tomorrow. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Guy. It was a fun stream and a lot of crashes. And don't worry, I'll get on War and I'll read the 30 messages I have on Discord and sure one of them was from you at least. Probably. Don't worry, I'll get on War. Thanks, guys. See you guys.